I built a really cute outhouse, if I do say so myself, and I ended up creating this interior you probably haven't seen in an outhouse before. I'm building a log hut in the Finnish woods because nature is where I have always felt most at home. And one day I realized I could just go all the way. So I'm building by myself with no previous experience to create a life that feels more like mine. And this spring, before getting back to the main build, I started with an outhouse. I wanted to have somewhat traditional scenery here, so I kept that traditional look on the outside. But the interior of the outhouse, that was a chance to do something a little different. And I love any excuse to obsess over details, so I took the chance. So here's my outhouse build vlog to show you how it all went. Alright, so this is my first YouTube video. Let's see how it goes. I have just arrived to the hut. I'm here scouting a little bit where I would place the outhouse. And I will have to make sure I can also dig into the ground because there is a bedrock underneath the ground here, quite close to the surface. Spring has arrived a lot earlier this year than usual. The lake is still a little bit frozen, but other than that, it really looks like spring already. This is my hut. I've been building it last year, and as soon as I am done with the outhouse, I will continue building this one then. So let's get to it. This is the spot I have had in mind. It's a little bit behind the trees and it's not too far away from the hut, so it's nicer to visit, for example, in the middle of the night. It looks doable. I'll just have to figure out what way around it will be. Let's go get a shovel. I think I have one here, yes, an old and rusty one. Okay, so the conclusion is that the ground is still very frozen and there is no point of me doing this right now. I will probably choose this spot, count on that one. I'll prepare some sort of foundation here now. And this will be pretty much the foundation. I just evened the ground for these concrete slabs. So good morning, I am at my grandpa's garage. I just finished unloading the trailer of all the wood. This wood that I need for the outhouse. I've come to a realization that there is not much for me to do right now before the ground melts, which I did not necessarily calculate. I'll have to give it a week still. I have decided to be lazy with the foundation. This is not going to be very heavy building, so I'm not going to put too much pressure on the foundation or on myself to build the foundation, but now I have made a straight foundation on frozen ground and I'm not too confident it will be straight once the ground has melted. I still decided to build the floor for the outhouse. It is easier to build it here because the garage has an even floor. But this is the only bigger rebuild I'm gonna do for this project. Still have to cut a hole on the floor for the toilet. The toilet will be standing on the foundation. I have a friend of mine coming over here today to help me, and we are going to finally kickstart the outhouse. I've been pre-cutting some wood already, so it's going to be putting pieces together today. Let's see how far we can get.
Bye.
Today I will be preparing the roof trusses at home, so I can just bring them to the outhouse and start installing. I've arrived to the hut again, and today I am sleepy. So let's see what we can achieve today. My goal is to make some sort of frame for the roof. Yeah, I have no idea how much time that's gonna take. It could take very little time because I have already built the parts for the roof, or it could take a lot of time because things just don't work out the way I thought they would. But let's see. What a beautiful day, by the way. I do not mind my summer looking like this again. The wind is a little bit cold. That's not so nice. I am not a fan of cold. I do actually really deeply hate cold. But as soon as I get busy, I will feel warm again. Alright. Window will be pretty low, so that when you're sitting on the toilet you can somewhat look out of it, because the lake is there, so it's a nice view when sitting on the toilet. I don't want to bring it all the way up because there will be I don't have the vocabulary for it, but there will be the roof coming over the will be a roof here. So I want the frame of the window still show a little bit underneath. That's why I need some space here. Is it gonna be enough? I will place it even lower. If I got to choose, I would place it even lower. Sure, let's do it. Alright, that was a good start for the day. Let's have a little lunch break and I will start looking at the walls. I have some panels here that I am gonna use for the walls. I found those from the attic of my parents, so trying to use those first and then see how much do I still need and if I can find, because those are 30 years old, so let's hope they make the same product still. I think that's all for today. I tidied everything up and now I will go get some dinner. I am pretty tired. I will sit down for a second and enjoy the view. It's another day of building. So my plan was to get done as much as I possibly could today, because the local newspaper is gonna come visit my hut tomorrow. So I just wanted to build the outhouse as much as I could before they come. Another day. Today the local newspaper is gonna come. Let's see how it goes. Interview done. That was such a positive experience. Yesterday I ran out of wood, so now I don't have much to do. I should go to the city to get some more wood, but I'm doing some little things that I can do and hoping not to ruin my clothes, because I don't have work clothes right now. I have spent the last 3 days at home preparing all kinds of things so that I can come here and continue building more efficiently. I have a trailer full of things. I checked the forecast. It's gonna start raining later this week, so I definitely have to finish the roof within these couple days, but I'm also trying to paint as much as possible. Anyways, today's first task is to finish these panels. I ran out of them when I had that much left, and now I can finally finish the walls and start painting. Another thing I have to do before I start painting is to cover these parts. They are this and that. Not the prettiest solution, but I think the main point is that birds wouldn't move in. And for the walls, I am using red clay paint. It is very traditional and natural paint. I added these beams here, and I'm thinking I will still add boards to support those loose ends. Good morning. It's gonna be a beautiful day. I have a lot on my schedule for today. It's now 10 a.m. and the sun sets after 8 p.m. So I have 10 hours time. So tomorrow it's gonna start raining and then it's gonna be raining. My priority is to finish the painting, and then I definitely have to finish the roof so that I can peacefully allow it to rain from tomorrow on. Painting, finishing the roof, and then since this is the last pretty day in a while, I have to film the intro for my short video. So let's get busy. It's a lot to do. This is how the wall looks like after the first layer of paint. Yesterday I checked the forecast for last night and it was freezing, so I took the paint with me to stay inside for the night so I won't have frozen paint this morning, because that has happened before. Second layer of the red clay paint, and it's starting to look quite good. So I think painting is done now. The brown parts, I feel lazy painting again. This part is not going to show too much. There will be still trim here, so that's now good enough for me. I will add some trim and then I will start working on the sheet metal. Okay, the trimming is finished now. I will take a little break to film the intro of my video. Right, that's about that. Let's get back to the outhouse. So these sheet metals are leftover from the time my parents were building their house 30 years ago, and they've been laying on the ground ever since. This outhouse was a perfect chance for me to reuse some of them. The condition of these is really good, so I just cut parts of the metal, and I was also really lucky to find like other metal parts that I need for the roof. So basically the whole roof is made of reused metal. It also saves me a lot of money. This is a ventilation pipe for the toilet. It goes through the roof. I'm installing it with a seal so that the roof stays waterproof. These are all the screws I have left. I better make it work with these. And I cannot afford dropping one single screw. Alright, roof is done. Pretty much everything I needed to get done today is done, so now I'm wondering if I'm still gonna do something or should I go home. There's something like an hour of daylight still, so I could still be productive, but let's see. So the ridge cap I found was 10 centimeters short, so I had another type of leftover ridge cap from my hut, so I had to make a little compromise here. Is this love? 6 days later, I got really sick after my last day of building here, and I've been now home for 6 days. Not sure if I should be back by now, but I came back. Anyways, today I will just get a couple hours in, see how I feel after that, and hopefully come back tomorrow again. But yeah, that was a lot. That was bad. I rarely get sick, and now I got really sick. So happy to be back. Alright, I started the day easy, finished the corners, and now we finally get to the part that I've been waiting for, which is the door and the window trim. Also, while I was sick, there was some sort of snowstorm going on, and this is how my fresh paint looks like right now. All of the details of these trimmings I prepared at home already earlier, so now I can just install them and see how they fit. I'm pretty excited for this because I think it's gonna do a lot for the looks of this outhouse, and I put a lot of time and effort into these. Another day. As I have mentioned, I really hate cold, and it is really cold today, but maybe even more than cold, I hate wind, and it is really windy today. So I have a lot of clothes on. Today I'm not gonna mess with this. I'm gonna try and paint the whole interior. I'll put earbuds in, listen to podcasts, and try to forget how windy it is. I finished painting the first layer. I ran out of paint, and it is so cold and so windy that I will just drive to the city, go get some more paint, because I am done with this weather. I don't want to be outside anymore. I hate wind. It's an hour drive from here, so that will kill some time for me. As my final task still for today, I will paint the inside of the door, which I have again prepared earlier at home. So now I'm finishing it up in my grandpa's garage so that tomorrow it's ready for installing. I'm starting the morning by painting the second layer of the inside, and I will have to see what else happens today. Okay, I finished painting. I have 2 more things left, which is installing the window and the door. And then it's okay, but then I still have to put the toilet inside. But other than that, it's starting to be done. So now I don't have much else to do but to wait for the paint to dry. So I'm gonna be chilling in the car. And it's finally time to wrap this up by installing the composting toilet. This toilet is also suitable for food waste, therefore it's super useful for my hut. I have finished the outhouse. that the outhouse is mostly done, I will concentrate on the interior. And since I do want to keep my hut somewhat traditional, and I do want this, like the outside scenery be traditional, therefore the outhouse also looks cute from outside. But the one thing that I can play around with my hut is the interior of the outhouse, because that one does not have to be anything like everything else. So I have this idea of doing like tile panels, but like actual tiles obviously are not in my budget, so I'm gonna attempt to make some fake tiles from plywood. I have no idea if this is going to work out, but I will go buy some plywood and some paint and stuff. Let's see if it works out the way it does in my head. So this was quite a lot of work, but yeah, I made 144 tiles. Here I have 2 tiles, the other one is only painted and the other one has varnish on it as well. That was like my idea, varnishing all of them, but now that I look at them, the only painted one is good enough in my opinion. The other one looks more realistic, but for the sake of not being so wasteful, I will settle on the not varnished ones, and it will be still nice end result. I glued the tiles on some more plywood, but I am not so confident that the glue alone would secure them well enough, so I still added some screws. And then I used silicone sealant to fill the gaps between the tiles to make it look like a tile wall. It took me a while to prepare all of this at home, but then I packed everything in my trailer again, went to the outhouse and started to install. I had an idea of also making these shelves, so I cut some wood that I had already painted brown to fit the walls, and they actually work really nice and look really nice. And then we decorate. I did plenty of thrifting, so most of the decoration is second-hand. I wanted to play around a bit with a privacy theme, so I thrifted old cameras. And after painting these picture frames, I printed some nature-themed pictures that could possibly make the visitors feel a bit observed. And this last thing I bought new, I couldn't resist, and I am pretty happy with it. So here's how the interior turned out. So this is pretty much all for now. I still have to add the first step in front of the outhouse because now it's quite a big leap. But I will give it some time to figure out what I want to do with it. I could make it very just a regular step, or I could do something more exciting with it, but I'll have to see. The outhouse is up and running, and it's gonna make my summer a bit more pleasant than my last summer was. This was such a fun and stress-free way of getting back to building after the winter, and I really loved the chance to be creative with this one. But yeah, now it's time to start concentrating on the main build, aka the hut. There is a lot to do and there will be a lot to show as well. So if you are interested in more of this type of content, let me know.